Hi, my name is Anthony Gibbs. And continuing with this series, I guess, about the Panama Papers, um, I will begin by saying I'm not an intelligence agent, nor am I have been or currently am enlisted in any military or police service. Um, I am just a regular person who studied and read some things, who apparently has unruly hair. So, the reason for this video is that I like to begin with saying that what we're seeing with the Panama Papers is not anything new. Now, supposedly, the people who were involved in this included world leaders, included athletes and movie stars who didn't really want their money to be seen. And it also included, reportedly, underworld figures and such, drug dealers. Now, what does all this mean? I think what this harkens to is that you're looking at something like the S&L scandal of the 80s. The big thing with the S&L scandal of the 80s is that the whole purpose behind those banks was that people could stash cash and there was not too many regulations and go dump the bank when they're done with it and leave taxpayers with the bill. A lot of money got washed in the S&Ls. As a matter of fact, this book right here is an example of what I'm talking about with the S&Ls. It's touched on in there. Now, essentially, that book was called Mafia, CIA, and George Bush. So anyway, I mean, all theory about George Bush having something to do with it aside, I can't prove it, disprove that, and I'm not going to sign my name by publicly on that theory and point a finger at the Bush family for anything. This I will not do because I don't have the evidence. But what that book does tell you is that these S&L banks and all this banking madness you see is often tied in with the underworld and or the espionage world, because both places need off the book sources of revenue and off the books markets to trade in and such. And often these off the books markets and these things often contain like characters of criminals that you're trying to watch. So it kind of makes sense to be involved in these things. But I think what the underlying thing is that the CIA and agencies perhaps might use these underground markets as ready sources of capital that is outside the purview and the spectrum of the public at large. The thing with public money, as we all know, is that you have to account for every bloody dime. Invariably and eventually somebody along the line can order the I word, an investigation. And then they'll take a flashlight and they'll crawl up your friggin' GI tract at that point. And they'll ask you, shit, how much for this pencil? They'll be on that level. Oh, you went out to McDonald's when? They're tripping like that. Now, if you have some off the books revenue, Um, there is no public check back. Moreover, you don't have to account for what that agent is really doing if the agent is self-funded or you have them funded in a way to where again the public can't see. You know, well, because if you look at Bob Jones's salary, well, Bob Jones is just a case agent who has a house in Arlington, but Bob Jones can be doing 85 other things. Now, if Bob Jones is investigated, there'll be no credit cards that say Bob Jones did this. There'll be no rental receipts saying Bob Jones did that, unless Bob Jones wanted to leave that trail. How Bob Jones more than likely does his secret thing is with off the books cash. And that's what this is about, off the books cash. When you see these world leaders mixed up in it, that immediately tells me this is the next big investment they looked at it. Kind of like tech stocks. This is the way you hide your cash. This is the way you flip some cash. It looks sweet. Everybody wants a taste. Once you get a taste, you like that taste. You keep on eating. And you keep on eating. And then one day you look up and you're covered in grease. And the house is dirty. And you can't get it clean in time for your moms to come home. And I think what you saw here basically was that case. It's musical chairs, stealing. You got to dance around the chairs, and then the music stops, and the sucker's left sitting on the floor. So I'm not quite sure if anything happened to the world leaders. I suspect they're pretty well insulated, but some rubes and some henchmen are going to swing behind this. Because somebody has to swing behind this. But maybe big fish too. Because this is one of those things to where if out of control, this could cause a massive amount of chaos. Because if this all is true, it confirms what folks been thinking for years. To be straight up stealing. Stealing, like, stealing the towels, the soap, the washcloths, the bed sheets, the friggin' Bible about that out the room, knowing they don't give a shit about that, just want to steal it. Stole the ironing board, stole the iron, stole glasses that were left for you to have a drink of water up in your room. Just packed all that shit and left the hotel at 3:30 a.m. And that's how this looks right now. So, and I guess I'll conclude by saying that, like, work smart, work hard at the things that are important to you. We gotta stop busting our ass doing stuff we don't like just to get something that ain't doing us a goddamn bit of good anyway. If you want to go out and make money, but at least make money doing something you love every day. Hopefully, it's not stealing from the rest of from the public like these guys were, but you got to stop believing in what they're telling you. And I know that Zay term, who's they? Well, who are they indeed? You have to believe in a new paradigm. Don't let these guys. Don't be sold a bill of goods like that old Motown song said. You gotta go on a bargain hunt. Don't be fooled by the very first one, right? That's what old Smoke said, right? So it remains true today. And once we find out who these businessmen are, if we indeed find out these are prominent people which sell us products and services and are rich many times over because seemingly they have a successful service or product. Maybe it's time to stop using that product or that service so that person doesn't have the kind of wealth that they're going to turn around and hide on us anymore. Because that's the last thing I want to say. These folks are rich and these folks are powerful only because we allow them to be. That's it. They only have money because we give them money. They only have power because we give them power. And we trust that one, and we trust that as we give them this wealth, as we give them this power, they will behave themselves like gentlemen or like ladies when they have it. But we find out time and time again that they don't. You know, it's what Sam G and Connor said. There's no black hats, there's no white hats. There's just guys, man. That's it. Men, people with interests. You know, like the whole notion of the rich person somehow got like idealized somewhere along the way. You watched all this dynasty, you know, these various things. We were sold that these people were job creators. It's essential that they are rich. Is it? I mean, with all the money parked overseas, that could have been a lot of damn jobs. People might say, well, yeah, we streamlined it. I'm not paying people who don't have to work out because they should have a man work. Fair enough. The hell was that? Fair enough. But when you see a man with idle hands on the street, don't look away. Look right at him because that's the result of enough people saying, I don't need that man because that man is costing me money. Life is worth more than gold. Every life is worth more than gold. And sometimes we need to do things because it's the right thing, not because it profits us or not. Or we need to start questioning ourselves, especially people who sit and say this is a Christian country. Well, if this is a Christian country, then we sure as hell miss on that one. And that's love thy neighbor to love yourself. And you know, would you like it if some greedy sucker would hold on everything and you barely had nothing because that person wanted what you had, what anybody else had, or could have, potentially? You wouldn't like it at all. You know, how many stories of yore were about um, going to take down the greedy overlord who was sucking the land dry? I guess maybe the men who went picked the overlord down, so deep down inside just wanted to be the overlord and didn't really see the social justice ramifications of it. It was just a purge, and they were going to be the next guy. I sincerely hope that when the overlord was taken down, there might have been some notions of people deserve better and don't deserve to starve because you want to wear jewels and soft furs. I don't I don't disparage a man for being rich. I don't disparage a man for being filthy rich. What I disparage a man for is being filthy rich all because they gonna flip some money around and they are greedy. They didn't make nothing, they didn't invent nothing. They just found a way to count the money a little bit better and stack it someplace else. I know it's simplified, but I don't know. Sometimes seeing this scandal. So anyway, um, we'll we'll keep on and we'll keep looking into this, and we'll see what's going on. Anyway, I'm Anthony Gibbs, and look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Goodbye.